Hey music makers and music lovers, Rob Cooley here from Tele Music Studio. Got the band Futon coming in this weekend, and while they're bringing their own guitars, I have a couple of specialty guitars that I'm going to encourage them to try using, mainly to get different voicings. Some of their songs are using the same chords for both guitar players, and I want to get some different textures. So I've picked out two guitars that are actually much lower tuning. One is a baritone Telecaster. The other one is this guitar I call Tank, which is an Ernie Ball collaboration with Orange County Choppers. Anyways, let's get to work. So we got to put brand new strings on here. The idea would be the first time they're going to actually use these guitars possibly would be 2 days from now. And so that gives me a little time to get these stretched out and working nicely. All right. The tuning for this guitar is C sharp, F sharp, starting with the 6th string. C sharp, F sharp, 4th string is B, 3rd string is E, 2nd string G sharp, and the last string, number 1, is C sharp. So I'm working on moving the old strings. They were in pretty good shape, but I really want to, one thing about recording is you really want those strings to be as new as possible. There is, a limit, like don't put the strings on right before you record, but I like to get them on 24 hours minimum, and 48 is kind of a sweet spot, I think, and that's what we're looking at right now. It is well worth noting that they may not even use these guitars, right? This is just me saying, as a producer, I'm going to suggest these, and hopefully they'll at least try them, right? And the idea is to get a real meaty, thick texture that is different than the guitars they're currently playing, so that we take the song to another level. Okay, got some string winders here that I can speed the process up. So as I mentioned, this guitar is what they call C sharp standard. This is the lowest you can go in the standard scale length. I found that out because I experimented a bunch. I even had another guitar that I got down to C, but it just wasn't stable enough. So I sold that guitar off and then proceeded to go get a actual baritone guitar. So we'll be doing that one next. So we got standard C sharp on, I call this guitar Tank because it's modeled after a Orange County Chopper gas tank, or at least the chopper and shows the gas tank, if you know what I mean. Anywho, so yeah, I call this one Tank. And the other one is actually a Fender Telecaster baritone. So it's a cool guitar. And that one has P90s. All right, so yeah, two different textures. This one has humbuckers. The other one has P90s. So that's, once again, one of the things you want to do when you're recording songs is get some different textures. The redundancy of the same guitar through the same amp, especially with the same voicings. While that can be useful for certain things, overall, that's going to be boring. Overall, that's going to lack the type of texture that you would expect to hear on a really well-produced, well-recorded song. All right, so we got string number 6 going in. I always like to start with the biggest string. I figured it has the most tension, and it just makes the most sense to switch that one out first. Okay, the water bottle over here. There we go with string 6. Okay. Let's check that a little more carefully. Yeah, there we go. That was fine. Some of these things I do without even thinking about it, but I figure since I'm on camera, I probably should be a little more careful. But honestly, a lot of this stuff I've been doing it so long, I don't really have to think about it a whole lot. Get this over and under. Okay. So yeah, this guitar had I had a guitar tech modify that nut for me, and what else have we done? Actually, that's about it. Other than of course, using the lower The bigger strings than standard, of course, forced us to, truss rod adjustment, action, bridge, all those types of adjustments in order to truly make these lower strings functional. Does get a sweet sound. And if you're interested in what tank sounds like, let's stand up here. And if you're interested in what tank sounds like, I do have a video I made when I put some new Grovers on tank, I think it was like 3 months ago. So maybe we can put a link there somewhere so you can check out the Grover tuners, but more importantly, you can hear tank in action. Get a chance to hear what tank sounds like, on an amp. Can't remember what amp I was using that particular day. It might be in the description, hopefully. But yeah, it's a really meaty tone. Just about everybody who's tried tank has been really surprised how good it sounds. Every person who has auditioned it has used it on their record. Not a single person has ever tried tank and then said, nah. Everybody ends up using it. All right, we got tank all tuned up. I'll plug her in a bit, but here's what she sounds like, just acoustically. Again, this is a standard C sharp, so it's nice and low and thick. All right, we're moving on to the Telecaster. I'm gonna hang this up. All right, the Telecaster actually has P90s in it. And I've got this one actually tuned right now to but I've got this one tuned to standard B. So we had standard C sharp, and this one's standard B. And this will give the band 2 different tunings and 2 different tones to work with, right? We have humbuckers in C sharp, then we got some P90s in B. So it gives us some nice opportunities to find the right textures. Again, this is not going to be used tomorrow during the initial tracking of their 2 brand new songs, but in the overdubs, right, when we're looking to throw on some extra guitars, this is when I'm going to be suggesting these guitars. All right, well, it's time to get down to business here. I'm going to get out my string winder and go to town as we loosen these up. These are big strings. Look at that. Got some chunky strings, y'all. All right. Six, 5. All right, we're down to the last 2 strings. I just wanted to point out that once again, these are 6 in a row, so I didn't need to flip the guitar. Unlike tank, that was 3 per side. So last 2 strings, here we go. Yeah, kicked my water bottle. I noticed the last person has definitely just taken the full length of the string and stuck it in there, which isn't like terrible or anything, but I'm gonna try cutting mine. I've been cutting mine and not putting the whole string on the post. I've never done that in the past, so I don't want to start now. But yeah, I noticed somebody. This is the first time changing the strings on this guitar since I bought it, and I bought it used, so it's just some other musician. Not factory. Okay, let's get the first string off of here. Yeah, it's time to change the strings when you can kind of feel feel the grime as you run your hand down to remove the string. You can literally feel how dirty it is. It was time to change these. I'll try to make them look and sound and feel good for the band, so they got some good options to make their new record. Okay. Scrap pile there. Moving on to the new ones here. Alright, we'll pull through. Got the ball end to come on up to the body. Bending this down. Applying pressure. There we go. Final string. And the string tree. Ooh. Under the string tree, but not on the nut. There we go. Okay, they're all on, kids. Now I'll be stretching them a little bit, and especially, of course, tuning them. But yep, they're all on, so excellent. All right, got the new strings on. This is, again, the baritone Telecaster with the P90s. It's tuned to standard B. And while I'm not plugged in, I really like the idea how you can still tell what a strong acoustic quality it has. Check this out. Also pretty funky. Check out big bar chords. Open. So anyways, on the next video, part 2, I'll have both tank and the baritone plugged into amps so you can really hear what they sound like. And of course, you'll get to hear the band Futon play them on their brand new songs. Here we are. Mission completed. Tank. C# standard tuning. Humbuckers. Telecaster baritone. P90s. Together. Heavy textures for your songs.